Yes. Good morning, students. Hope you are all doing good. Yeah? Okay. So, in today's class, last class we studied cost sheet and we solved 3 problems under cost sheet. So, today we will solve the 4th and the 5th problem. Yeah? So, the 4th problem, please take out your question papers. I want you all to take out your question papers. Yes? Yeah. So, Mrs. Jyotsna Sales Corporation supplies you the following figures and information relating to a product during the month of January 2015. You have materials consumed, direct wages, machine hours worked, machine hour rate. Okay. So, when you know this cost sheet, the first item what it comes, direct material. Before all these things, the first thing what you will see in the problem, whether they have given you the units produced. In this particular problem, they have given, just check how many units is produced. So, you can see here 17,100 units is produced. But please remember, the number of units produced should always match with the number of units sold. If at all they don't sell the same units, then what happens? Then there is certain rejective work, that is any problem with the work or if the particular material or the product is being damaged. That's the reason they are taking out that particular amount, that particular figures from the units produced. I will do the problem, you will get to know how it is. Yes? Okay. So now take a pencil and just mark. The first thing what we require is direct material. So in this problem they have given materials consumed. Materials consumed, it is nothing but raw materials which is required. So it will go under your direct material. Your next one is direct wages. So direct wages is nothing but directly it is given, so it will go directly into direct wages. The next one is machine hours worked and machine hour rate. In this problem there is no such direct expenses, so you will just write direct expenses nil. You will have the prime cost. Once the prime cost is found, the next thing is factory overhead. In this particular problem, they have not given you factory overhead directly. Instead, they have given you machine hours worked. The machine worked for 1,800 hours. Per hour, the payment was 5 rupees. So, it is nothing but 1,800 into 5 rupees gives you the amount of factory overhead. The next one is administration overhead 20% on works cost. Works cost is nothing but the prime cost plus the factory overhead. You will get the total which is called as factory cost or works cost. On that factory cost or works cost, 20% of amount should be taken to office and administration. So the 20% will be taken. So the total is called as production cost. Selling overhead at ₹1 per unit, and the units produced is 17,100, units sold is 16,008 rupees. So let's start solving the problem. Then you will get to know how this problem is calculated. Then you will understand it very clearly. Okay. So the first thing, I am just dividing my board into 2 things so that I have enough space. In this particular problem, there is units, so you will have 3 columns. Okay. So first thing you will write the heading, Mrs. Jyotsna Corporation Limited. Okay. For the year, have they given the year? Yes, it is January 2015. And the units produced, you will write it in this right corner. I do not have space, so I will not write it, but you all have to write it the same way. So the first column is particulars. Particulars. The second column will be your units column. Your third column is your total amount column, and the last column will be per unit column. So according to your problem, the first thing what you have is direct material. So in direct material, they have given you materials consumed. It is nothing but direct material. What is the amount? It is 30,000 rupees. So 30,000. What is the units produced? 17,100. So 30,000 divided by 17,100, you will have 1.75. Please, I want you all to calculate it and get the answers. Please do not copy it. So the next one is direct wage. In this particular problem, they have given you 18,000. 18,000. So I will just write 18,000 for how many? 17,100 units. So 18,000 divided by 17,100 gives you 1.05. The next one is direct expenses. You do not have anything given, so you will just write nil. Now we will take the total. The units column should always not, you should always not take the total of the units. You will have only one, the same unit will be followed. Okay, so here it is 48,000. So the total comes around 2 rupees 80 paisa. When you take 48,000 divided by 17,100 also, you should have 2 rupees 80 paisa. Yeah. Your next one is the factory overhead. So this particular thing is called as prime cost. Prime cost. Okay. So the next thing is factory overhead. So in this particular problem, factory overhead is given you, but machine has worked into rate per hour. So it is being worked for 1,800 hours into, for 1 hour it is 5 rupees. So the total will come around 9,000 rupees. The total is coming around 9,000 for how many units? 17,100 units. So 9,000 divided by 7,100 gives you, it gives you around 0.53. 0.53. So now when you take the total of this, it is again, it is 17,100. 48,000 plus 9,000 gives you 57,000. 1 minute, let me check. It is 48, 49, 50. Yes, it is 57,000. Next, it is 3.33. I believe it is 3. Yeah, it is 3.33. What is this called as? This is called as factory cost or works cost. Factory cost or works cost. Now, in this problem, they have told you administration overhead is 20% on works cost. 20% on works cost is nothing but 57,000. So, office and administration overhead. Office and administration overhead, you will just write what they have given, 20% on works cost. So 20%, 10% is 5,700, 20% will be 11,400. 11,400. Yes, correct. So for how many units? 17,100 units. So for 1 unit, how much it comes? It is 0.67. So you will take the final total 17,100. Here when you add, you will have around 68,400, and here it is 4.00. It is 4 rupees. Yes. So what is this called as? This is called as production cost or cost of production. Production cost or cost of production. Okay, so let me continue in of your board. Yes. So once your production cost is done, what you will do now? You have an extra entry. Please listen it carefully. What is that extra entry? In this particular problem, the number of units produced, which is produced is 17,100. But the selling sales, the units sold or sales, yeah, it is only 16,000. Now what is that 1,100? What is this 1,100? Is nothing but that is your closing stock of finished goods. Please remember, closing stock of finished goods. Let me repeat once again. Yeah, number of units produced. Is 17,100, wherein the sales of the units sold is 16,000 in this problem. Usually, you solve a problem saying that which is the units produced is 17,100 till the sales. You have done the problem which is the same thing. But in this problem, you can see the number of units produced is more than the number of units sold. So where does that exact of things like 1,100 go? So it will go under the closing stock of finished goods. Always the closing stock of finished goods should be adjusted under after your production cost or cost of production. I will do that, you will understand it. Yeah. So when there is a closing stock, always you will deduct. When there is opening stock, always you will add. So you can find in this particular problem, there is a closing stock of finished goods. Okay. How much is that? How many units is being deducted? So as I told you, it is 1,100 units. It is 1,100 units. Okay. When you deduct 1,100 units, you have to deduct the amount of the value of it also. So what you will do? You will take the value of this, which is 4 rupees. So 4 rupees into 1,100 gives you 4,400. 8 rupees of 4. Now you will deduct it. Now you will have it as 16,000 and 68,400 minus 4,400 gives you 64,000. Now 64,000 divided by 6 gives you, again it is 4 rupees. Okay. So what is this called as? So this is called as production cost of goods sold. Production cost of goods sold. After this, you will take your selling and distribution overhead. In this particular problem, selling and distribution overhead, it is per unit 1 rupee. So 1 rupee they have given how many units is being produced? 16,000. So 1 into 16,000 gives you 16,000. Now please remember, you might have a doubt saying that, ma'am, the units produced is 17,100. Yes, but the finished goods is being deducted 1,100, wherein 16,000 only you should take. Okay. So once it is done, the total you will take the total. It is 16,000 units. Now it is 80,000. So it is 5 rupees. So what is this called as? This is called as total cost or cost of sales. Now you will leave a line and write, they have given you sales or always equal to profit. If your total cost is more and selling price is less, then it is a loss. In this particular problem, when you see the sales is 1,28,000 wherein the total cost is 80,000, what does it mean? It means there is a profit. So you add your profits with your total cost. So profit, so how many units? 16,000 units. So what is the amount? That is 1,28,000 minus 80, which gives you 48,000. 48,000. For 1 unit it comes around 3. Okay. So this is your problem. So let me repeat once again. I know you are feeling difficult for this, but let me tell you once again. The number of units produced is 17,100, wherein the number of units sold is 16,000. So the difference between that sold and units produced 1,100 will be taken as the closing stock of finished goods, which should be always taken after production cost or cost of production. Yes? So you are updating your values, everything in this problem. This is how it is calculated. Okay, so hope you all understood. Just take a minute to copy it down. Take a minute to copy it down. Yes, so let me erase it. We'll do the next problem also. Yes. So the next problem, that is your fifth problem. No, not fifth. Yeah, it is fifth problem. Fifth problem. From the following particulars, prepare cost and profit statement. Okay. So opening stock. Okay. Before that, I will just write a format so that you can understand. First is direct material, direct labor, direct expenses. So this one is called as prime cost. So with prime cost, when you add your factory overhead, okay, before that, 1 minute, I'm sorry. So let me repeat. Direct material, under your direct material, if they have provided the information saying that opening stock of raw materials and closing stock of raw materials, so that will go under your direct material. That is, you will add opening stock of raw material and you will deduct the closing stock of raw material. Okay, that is direct material. Okay. Next is direct labor. So I'm not writing the amount, so just one line. Next is direct expenses. So the total is called as prime cost. So after prime cost, you are taking your factory overhead. Under your factory overhead, if there is any opening stock of work in progress and closing stock of work in progress will be taken in your factory overhead. That is, you will add opening stock of work in progress and you will deduct the closing stock of work in progress. I want you all to write it down. Okay? Yeah. So this total is called as factory cost or works cost. Factory cost overhead, where the total is taken, which is called as production cost or cost of production. Next, if there is any opening stock and closing stock of finished goods, please remember raw materials will be taken in direct material, work in progress will be taken under factory overhead, finished goods will be taken after production cost. So you will add your opening stock of finished goods and you will deduct the closing stock of finished goods. So the total what you get is production cost of goods sold. Next you will have selling and distribution overhead. So the total is called as total cost. Next, if you have profit, you will add it, or else if you have loss, you will deduct it. The last thing you will have is selling price or sales. So this is very important. Please take it down. So after seeing this, when you again do calculate your previous problem, what I thought, that is the fourth problem, Jyotsna Company Limited, just try doing this problem, then you will understand. Yes? Okay. Now, let's calculate your fifth problem. From the following particulars, prepare cost and profit statement. Opening stock of finished goods. Where will you go? Opening stock of finished goods. You will add after your production cost or cost of production. Next is raw materials purchase. Raw materials will go under your direct material. Next is direct wages. Will go under your direct labor or direct wages. Cost of defective work will go under your factory overhead. Insurance on fixed assets will go under your factory overhead. Drawing office salary. Here please remember drawing office salary. Have I done this drawing office salary? Just check your previous papers. Drawing office salary. You might have heard of just office salary, but you might have not heard of drawing office salary. Drawing office salary, no. But drawing office salary will go under factory. You can say, ma'am, it is a office. No, drawing office salary. If that particular drawing office salary comes, that will be taken under your factory overhead. Next is office expenses, which will go under your office and administration overhead. Sale of scrap, that is an income. So you have to deduct that particular income from factory overhead. Samples, where do you give samples? Selling and distribution overhead. Underwriting commission, it is a financial item. Dividend to shareholders, again it is a financial item. Closing stock of finished goods will come under your production cost. Okay, next is carriage on purchases. Carriage inward, add under your direct material. Idle time of operator, something related to working with the machine, time, it goes under your factory overhead. Rent and rates, sorry, I forgot telling power. Power will go under your factory. However, it says that 10% for office use, remaining 90% will go to factory, 10% will go to office and administration overhead. Haulage. Now, what do you mean by haulage? Haulage is nothing but in a big factory you can find that what do you say? I will tell it in Kannada. ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಗಾಡಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಗಾಡಿನ ತಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು. ನೀವು ಈ ಮಾಲ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೊಂದು ಇದು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಒಂದು ಬಾಸ್ಕೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯರ್ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ತಳ್ಕೊಂಡು, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಐಟಮ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಎತ್ತದಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ತಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಇದನ್ನ ಹಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾಲ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಷೀನ್ ಇಂದ ಈ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಮಷೀನ್ಗೆ ಎಸ್ಯಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕೊಂತಾರೆ, ತಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಸ್ಪ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಹಾಲೇಜ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಾಲೇಜ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗೋದು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ? ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಓವರ್ ಹೆಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಗೋಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರಿ ಓವರ್ ಹೆಡ್. Rent and rates, again rent and rates, it goes under factory, but they've told 50% of works. So 50% of works is nothing but it will go under your rent and rates. Yes, rent and rates 50% will go to factory, another 50% will go to office. Okay, the next one is printing and stationery, which obviously goes under your selling and distribution. Commission to sales staff, selling and distribution. Advertisement, selling and distribution. Sales is sales. In this particular problem, there is no units, it is only your total column. So but what you will do, you will have units column at the same time per unit column, but you will not fill it up, you will just fill your total column. Okay, so let me start doing it. Yes, so the first thing, again in this particular problem there is no units. You will write the heading. In this particular problem there is no such company names also. You will just write cost sheet. There is no here, so you will just write the cost sheet. Cost sheet, you will have particulars, units, total and per unit. So the first one is your direct material. Under your direct material, in this problem they have given you purchases. What is the amount? 35,250. You will add carriage inward, just 850. So the total goes under your total column, which is 36,100. What is the next thing? Direct labor. In this problem they have given you directly, which is 18,450. In this problem there is no such direct expenses, where you will just write nil and you will take the total, which is 54,550, which is called as prime cost. After that it is factory overhead. You are taking your power, that is 90% power is used, so it comes around 2,475. Cost of defective work, which is 250. Idle time, which is 500. Insurance, which is 250. Haulage, which is 750. Drawing office salary, which is 800. The last one is rent and rates, which is only 50%, which is coming around 450. The total will be taken in your total column, the total, which is 5,475, because there is a sale of scrap. What is the amount? Which is 250. So when you take it, you will have around 5,225. So when you take the total of your product prime cost with your factory overhead, which will come around 59,775. So this is called as factory cost or works cost. Factory factory cost or works cost. After that, you have office and administration overhead. Office and administration overhead, you have 4 items. One is power, rent and rates, office expenses, and office expenses. That's it. Yeah. After that, when you take the total, here in power it is only 10%. Rent and rates it is 50%. Okay. So it is 275, 450 and 1200. You will take the total, which is coming around 7, 12, 3, 4, 5, 5, 9. Okay. 1925. Okay. So after that you have your total. You will take your total, which is called as production cost or cost of production. Sorry, I forgot taking your printing and stationery should be taken here. In this book there is a mistake. So printing and stationery will come around 450. So the total here it comes around 2375. Okay. So when you take the total, that is called as production cost of production. So it will come around 62,150. So you will add your opening stock of finished goods, please remember, and you will deduct closing stock of finished goods. So the opening stock of finished goods is it is 9,750. 9,750. You will add it to this and you will deduct 1,100 as your closing stock. The total what you get is the production cost of goods sold. So what is the amount you will get? It is 60,800. 60,800. I will just continue a little bit this side. Yeah. After that total, what is this called as? Production cost of goods sold. Your next item is selling and distribution overhead. Selling and distribution overhead. So under that you have commission, you have samples and you have advertisement. So 1,400, 300 and 400. It is 2,100. So when you take the total from this, it is 62,900. What is this called as? This is called as your total cost. They have given you sales. Sales in this problem is 80,000. Now you can find out 80,000. Now you can find out your total cost is less than your sales, which means there is a profit. Profit of how much? It will come around 17,100. Yes, this 17,100 is your profit. You will add it from your total cost. This is your problem. Hope you all understood. Yes? Let me repeat. Please remember. Opening stock and closing stock of raw materials will be taken under your direct material. Opening stock and closing stock of work in progress will be taken under your factory overhead. Opening stock and closing stock of finished goods will be taken after your production cost or cost of production. So students, hope you all understood. In today's class we studied your cost sheet, that is your 4th problem, and the 5th problem is solved. So hope you all understood how it is solved. Yes. So thank you. Have a great day. Bye.